Hey guys, it's Rachel with Be Healed Dog Training, and I want to talk to you today about teaching a dog how to be calm. So a lot of people struggle with dogs who have too much energy, whether that comes out in the form of excitement or anxiety or even snotty bratty behavior. Lots of dogs struggle with how to handle their energy, and a huge component of what we train here is how to be calm and how to function in a calm state of mind, which allows you to do a lot more with the training that you do. Now, when you teach a dog to be calm, it doesn't mean that you take the drive out of the dog. So, for example, my personal dogs, well, one of them is not a super high drive dog, but I have one dog that's a pretty high drive dog, and she is extremely calm in her crate. She's calm in the house, she's calm in the car. But when it's time to work, when it's time to play, she is very, very up, excited, raring to go. So teaching a dog to be calm doesn't shut the dog down. A lot of people think that or will tell you that. But teaching a dog how to be calm and taking away the wound up, anxious, excited behavior when it's not necessary or not wanted is not going to prevent the dog from being able to get into that more elevated, escalated state of mind when you want it or when it's acceptable. So basically, again, this goes back to the concept of teaching an on-off switch, and I've talked about that before. I have other videos about that. Very, very important for dogs to have an on and off switch. People have it. We have times that we know it's time to be quiet, calm, get work done, and then it's time to party and play and have a good time, depending on the circumstances. And the dog can learn absolutely the same thing. So I'm going to show in this video a perfect example of a dog who's working through that this morning. So right here in this wire crate, this is Max. Max is a 1-year-old boxer. He's here for a 2-week board and train. He's got like 4 days left with us, I think, out of his board and train. And if you haven't seen him in other videos yet, Max came with some pretty out of control behavior, very sweet disposition, but way too much energy. He came in because he was constantly jumping on his owners, biting the leash when they try to take him on walks, rough play with his owners all the time. And he's a 70-pound dog, so that's not acceptable. In the house, he also has a problem with chasing their cat. From everything that they've seen, it seems playful, but that doesn't matter. The cat doesn't enjoy it. And even a dog that is being playful, chasing a cat can quickly turn into something really bad, whether it's an accidental injury or that excitement gets out of control, then it becomes something even worse. The dog can hurt or even kill a cat. So we absolutely don't allow chasing cats, chasing kids. We want to stop that frame of mind in the house or whenever it's not acceptable, out on the walk, etc. And I have a great group of cats here with me. I call them my impulse control team. And so Max was working with my highly specialized impulse control team this morning. And what you're going to see in the following video is Max on place in the kitchen while I'm cooking breakfast. And he's got his remote collar on. He knows the place command. He's working on the corrective level on the place command. And so now the next step is to take that into an environment where there's distractions and with the cat. We want to proof him to the cat before he goes home so that his owners can continue with this and have him stop chasing the cat. So basically what happens when you take this excitement away, what we're doing is we are correcting the physical acts of excitement, the physical acts of arousal. And that's going to be things like running through the house, barking, whining, spinning circles, breaking place, breaking command. Even an intense stare will be corrected and has been corrected with him. So what we started with was first he learned the place command in the training room where it's quiet, it's controlled. He learned that until he knew it really well. Then we started adding distractions, and sometimes that would be in the form of my personal dogs being loose in the room, or outside we would do work with the dogs running around playing and he had to work with me. So now we've moved it inside, and even though inside the house is pretty calm, there's cats there. And so what you're going to see first in the video is he's on place, he's not breaking command, but he is shaking. And again, you're going to you may think this yourself, or you may have people who would say the dog is shaking because he is afraid of being corrected, or the dog is shaking because he's sad or he's nervous. This dog was shaking because he was excited He was still in that elevated state of mind, but he knew that the physical acts of expressing that were not going to be allowed. And so he stayed still, and now he's got all this energy, and it's got nowhere to go. And so it's just vibrating. But he doesn't stay in that state of mind. If you can stop the physical act of excitement and arousal, then the mental part of that will come with time. When you get the dog to physically stay still and calm, the mental part comes next. And so the next part of the video, you're going to see him calmly lying in place. He's looking up at me, he's awake. He is not sad. If you are not familiar with what a calm dog looks like, you might look at him and think that he looks sad because he's looking up and his eyes get kind of those puppy dog eyes. Don't see a dog like that and think that they are sad or shut down. He was calm. He was still maybe dealing with a little bit of excitement, but the shaking was gone. His breathing was starting to slow down. And that's exactly what we want to see. And then in the third part of the video, you see that he's asleep. And I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but he was even snoring, which was pretty adorable. And basically what's going to happen next is the more we work with him on this, the more that frame of mind is going to become the default. And that's what we've seen before with dogs when we work on this. Dogs come in elevated, then we stop the physical acts and they sit there and they may shake or they may whine or they may still have signs that they are mentally elevated. But then as they learn to stay still in one place for a long time, their brain finally starts to calm down. And so we've been working on that with him, but yesterday we let him play with the ball outside. We got him way, way, way wound up and excited, and then we brought him back down when we were done playing, and he was able to basically immediately, after being told playtime was done, come lie down in the grass and not get up until he was told. He was calm, he was content, and that's exactly what we want. But again, this video today is about seeing him, how he started off when he first came into the house, because this was only, I think, his second visit into the house at all. So when he first came into the house this morning, it was put on place and the cats were walking by and he was seeing them and he was thinking these thoughts. We corrected those thoughts, and then you'll see him as he settles down and what it looks like at the end when you do have a calm dog. And then eventually what you have is a dog that is just calm all the time by default, unless you give them the cue that it's time to play and have a good time. So anyway, take a look at the video. I want you to be familiar with what it looks like when you first take away the physical acts of excitement, because you will get this kind of effect. And I don't want you, if you're working on this with your own dog, or even if you see it in a dog somewhere else, I don't want you to get the wrong idea and think that there's something wrong with the dog. All it is that energy has nowhere to go, and eventually it's going to mellow out. He's snoring.
Bless you. Bless you. Don't talk to us.
Sorry, I woke you up. I'm just trying to show how good you're being.
Yeah, you're squirming. I think you want to get down. You want to get down, don't you?
What you doing, Charlotte?
Want to get down? I'll put you on the activity mat. So you can play?